Appreciate you Skyping in right now from Phoenix, Arizona, and just kind of wanted to talk to you about the biggest stories of the year that we've covered and kind of our New Year's resolutions and our goals for 2021, what's shaping up to be a year that I know I'm excited for. Daytona.
You know, Andrew, I wouldn't want to end 2020 in any other way. We are Skyping in together, doing a live report on what this year has been. Isn't that so crazy? Looking down at Times Square and everything, just bizarre to think that this year has gone like that. I remember when it first started, I was kind of reflecting today. I wrote my journal the first day, January 1st, 2020, what I thought this year was going to be, and it not to be it. But also a lot of really interesting lessons that it taught us, and got a new job. That was really cool, joining this team here at NewsNOW and meeting you, and we really have had a busy year.
Yeah, that's right. Obviously, 2020 brought you and I together here at NewsNOW for this exciting adventure and the live events and the biggest stories of the day that we get to bring our viewers here on NewsNOW. I remember, speaking of January 1st, 2020, I celebrated New Year's Eve last year in Des Moines, Iowa. I was there for the whole month of January covering the Iowa caucus, and one of the big stories that you and I have covered here on NewsNOW from Fox is both the campaign and election 2020, which seemed to never be ending, Daytona, but it was such a crucial story that needed to be covered.
I know. Obviously, the debates that happened before that, we got to co-host that first presidential debate, and then the vice presidential debate also, and then, presidential debates got a little crazy there for a second. We all remember that. And then election too, it's been a wild ride. It's been cool to see our product grow. I think we had a historic month in November for viewership, and I'm just so excited to see one also. Just crazy things happening here. It's just good to see.
Yeah, and just kind of reflecting back on the year itself, I've been asking a lot of my family and friends, kind of where they were, what they were doing when they first heard of the coronavirus pandemic, and when they first realized that we were going into lockdown, we were going into quarantine. We never have done that before. This is a once in 100-year type of virus and type of pandemic. We didn't really know how long it was going to last. And here we are 10, 11 months from then. Where were you when you first heard?
Well, I was in California, reporter and anchor out there, and I remember starting off 20 covering all of the wildfires. Obviously, the Australian wildfires were going on, and then California too, and then the horrific event of Kobe and helicopter crash that was huge Michelle Valley. And then after that, there started to be some news of this coronavirus coming out of China. And we didn't really know what it was all about, the doctors about, and we finally started to learn. I had no idea it was going to be this big of a deal. Obviously, California was kind of on the front end of shutdowns, so we were shut down way before any other states were. I remember talking to my family out here in Arizona, where it wasn't really shut down at all, and saying, "Hey, did you guys buy your masks yet?" And they're like, "Why do you need masks?" Because in California, we were all wearing masks and being like really precautious and stuff. And then I feel like there was those few months there where we were totally shut down. The whole country was. And to this point today, 2021 we can move forward, take some steps forward, but also be able to reflect on the things that have happened in 2020 and utilize those lessons and move into 2021 a little bit stronger.
Yeah, Daytona, I remember, I was sitting in a hotel in Cleveland, Ohio. I was covering the Democratic primary. And in Cleveland, Ohio, on the same day, there were going to be competing campaign events. Bernie Sanders was going to have one, and Joe Biden was going to have one. I believe this was March 10th or 11th. And then Ohio went into this emergency order, into lockdown, and then the campaigns both decided to cancel those events. And that's kind of when I kind of started realizing that, whoa, this is pretty serious. These state governors are taking this very seriously. And it really upended the 2020 Democratic primary campaign and the general election campaign, of which I was covering at the time. And so you really weren't sure, usually for reporters, especially political reporters, covering a campaign is kind of a career-making event, a once-in-a-lifetime type thing. And obviously all of that was upended because of this year. But we did get an outcome. Obviously, there will be a new president come 2021, January 20th. But tons of stories that we've brought you here on News Now from Fox. I know personally, I kind of am reflecting back and taking stock of some of the perspective that I've gained because I did get to spend a lot of time with my family and got to see a lot of friends for an extended period of time back home in Michigan that, normally during a normal year, you wouldn't really get. So I was thankful for that this year for sure.
Yeah, I know. And I think I mentioned this in the video. If people, watched our little message from all of the hosts and producers here at News Now, but I think I really took a lot of things for granted. And this year, having all of those things taken away in 2020, the little things, social interaction and dancing and being out and enjoying meeting new people. Some people who are introverts don't really like that. I'm very much an extrovert, so I love that. I will never, ever take advantage of that again moving forward. Hopefully, if we can get back to a little bit of normalcy in 2021 and meeting new people, I'll never, ever take that for granted. And then family and your health, you don't know how important your health is until it's gone. And our bodies just work so perfectly together. It kind of blows my mind that we actually do stay healthy. So family health and this job was literally couldn't come at a better time. It brought me home to my family, which was a true blessing of 2020. So it was a tough year, but also some things.
Yeah, that's right, Daytona. And, personally as well, like I was diagnosed with COVID back in the fall and got through it. But much like millions of Americans, it affected them in so many random different ways. And people really, really were struggling this year economically with their physical health, with their mental health especially. Human beings aren't really programmed to be alone this often and for this long without really something to look forward to. And isolation can be quite, damaging to your mental health for extroverts and introverts alike. And, that's something that hopefully I'll be looking forward to in the new year, being kind of around crowds again, in crowded restaurants and bars, listening to live music, just on the street and the sidewalk, in shopping malls and movie theaters and things like that. Things we did take for granted before the pandemic and haven't had for months at a time. So yes, 2021 will hopefully look a little different. I've been telling all the reporters that we've been talking to in the field, obviously it won't happen right at midnight. This'll take some time into the new year, but progress is being made. More than 2 million people have already been vaccinated. In some places around the United States, the coronavirus case numbers are flattening out. They're not rising, although the number of deaths still keeps going up, the daily number of deaths. But you're right, there is a lot to look forward to in 2021, and the world definitely looks different. But here on News Now, we will cover all of those angles and all of those stories, and we thank everyone for watching. But Daytona, just to kind of wrap it up here, we're going to take the live pictures of Times Square. We're only 30 minutes out from the East Coast there. It's almost midnight. But goals for you, resolutions for you into the new year. You don't have to get too personal here, but anything you want to accomplish?
Oh, man. Well, I did a couple of interviews today, one with a mental health expert and one with a fitness expert. And I'm like, totally that person who doesn't really make New Year's resolutions because I feel like I never follow through with them. I'm very much a little by little person. But I think checking in with people a lot more. In 2020, I was able to do that because you had a little bit more time. There wasn't as many distractions. You didn't have as much on your plate, as many plans that were going on. You kind of had some quiet time. So I got to check in with people that I hadn't talked to in a really long time. And now everyone knows how to use this thing called Zoom. So it makes everyone accessible, which is totally amazing. So I want to check in with people a lot more. I want to read a lot more. I want to become an expert at more topics. I want to learn from you, Andrew, the political expert over here. And just honestly, just show more love and more gratitude for things that are going on because you just never know what's going to happen. And that's
yeah, no, those are all such great things to strive for. I know personally, like you said, I want to read more books, just gain more knowledge. Hopefully travel this year. I have a big milestone birthday coming up this August in 2021. Hope to travel with my family and friends outside of the country this next year. But you're right. This was a great time to take stock of what really matters, to check in, call family and friends. I myself called friends from college I hadn't talked to in years, just on the phone or and FaceTimes and Skypes and Zooms. So that was really great, just catching up with people and seeing how their lives are going, seeing how they're bearing all of this. This has been quite something to really get through as Americans, as kind of a world community, and I think a lot of people have shown true grit and true resilience this year. So.
Totally. And I'm just, again, just so thankful to have met you and Britt, who's our producer there right now. Everyone works so hard behind the scenes of this show. And we've only been together for so many months, but so much has happened in 2020. And we absolutely want to be there for all of you who are watching right now in 2021, because it's not over. You know, there's still a lot more to get to, and it's hard to know what to believe at this point in time. There was a lot of frustration this year over the election, over the coronavirus, what's true, what's not. So we know the depth of our jobs, and it's not easy, but it's something that I know. I can't speak for you, Andrew, but I truly love doing and want to serve all of you at home. And we're taking that into the new year with this platform. We can access so many people, and it's just really cool to see this continue to grow and develop. So tell your friends, tell your family. News Now from Fox is here for you. It's a family, and we need this more now than ever.
That's right. The Daytona, the stakes couldn't be higher, especially going into 2021, and we have you covered. Remember, the news never stops, not even on the weekends, not even on holidays like New Year's Eve here and New Year's Day. We'll be live on New Year's Day, but Daytona, we want to thank you for joining us here on News Now from Fox. We will see you in the new year. We're going to take a live look now at Times Square. There's only about 28 minutes left till 2021. Daytona, see you.
Bye.
All right, we hope you enjoyed that. We just wanted to take some time to take stock of everything we've learned and just kind of get to know us a little bit more. We'll be here for the foreseeable future on News Now from Fox.